welcome back to my channel. It's your girl NiNi back again with another video. So today's video, guys, was supposed to be a boohoo haul, and yeah, I just completely chickened out. I've not done a haul video before, so I got it started and then I was like, do you know what, this is just not going well. I just didn't like the way it was going. I just didn't like what was being recorded and how it was being recorded. Basically just the video was going shit. So yeah, I decided scrap that. Let me just go to one of the other videos that I had lined up to do next week instead, and I thought I'll just do that today. So yes, that's what we're doing today. As you can see from the title, guys, I am talking about really cutting ties with toxic people within your life. Whether it's friends, whether it's family, it doesn't really matter who it is, and you know, not to be afraid of doing that. The reason why I want to talk about this today, guys, is because I've had a few people that I haven't spoken to in quite a while reach out to me, kind of just having a chat, finding out about my life briefly and then telling me about theirs and things like that. And these are people that I haven't spoken to in a long time, people that generally is just hi and bye sort of thing when we do chat. And I feel like due to COVID, they are, you know, calling me, texting me, wanting to be in my life at the moment because they're bored, they're lonely. These certain people that I'm talking about work in offices, so at the moment they're working from home. You know, obviously they're probably bored, they're in need of some sort of interaction, and that's why they're reaching out really to chat to me. And to be fair, I haven't spoken to you in so long. Why do you want to talk to me now? Because you're bored or because of COVID? But yeah, it's kind of just talking about looking out for these sorts of toxic people when, you know, whatever. So I'm going to start off, guys, with family, because I feel like that's more important. When people want to cut toxic people out of their lives, family is like the hardest type of people that you can cut out of your life, because you think to yourself, it's family, I don't want to cut them out, and you know, blah blah blah, pressure from parents or the way you were brought up, like growing up Indian. One of my videos, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But yeah, growing up Indian, like, you had to respect your aunties, your uncles, your older cousins, your this, your that, and you know, to cut out a family member is like a massive thing to do within an Indian household. Reason why I'm touching on it as well is because I don't actually speak to any of my family members. I only speak to a few. Obviously I speak to my mum, my brother and that, but like my extended family, like my cousins, aunties, uncles and things like that, I don't speak to anyone. I think I speak to, I want to say like 3 or 4, even that I think is pushing it, to be fair. But I cut everyone out of my life, and yeah, it's kind of just touching on that. So from a young age, I had a lot of my aunties and uncles who didn't particularly like me. They would always say to my parents, you know what, Nisha's the bad one, she's the bad breed, she's going to be the bad child, this, that and the other, all because I had a mouth on me. I would say it how it was. If I didn't like something, I'd voice my opinion, and that wasn't very liked within an Indian household. So a lot of my aunties and uncles used to carry on saying all this stuff about me and, you know, whatever. And then also even like with my cousins and stuff, I didn't get on a lot with my cousins. It's weird because when we were really young we all got on, but as we got older, I don't know if it was jealousy, I don't know if it was they just hated the fact that I spoke up, or I don't know what it was, but I didn't get on with a lot of my cousins. But there was this one set of cousins that I got on with. They were all siblings, and there was this one set of cousins that I really got on with. Ever since I was a little girl, we used to go around to their house every Sunday, and we used to chill, and I used to go and sit outside. They used to chill in their bedroom and I used to go and chill outside their room. And you know, I always wanted to kind of chill with them sort of thing, because I always thought they were so cool and, you know, blah blah blah. And I couldn't chill with them. And then as I got older, I did start eventually chilling with these cousins of mine, and I'd be with them all the time. Like, I used to bunk off college sometimes and I used to chill with them and, you know, whatever. But basically I was quite close with them. But at the time, like, I didn't realise that it was more just a one-sided sort of love, sort of relationship. I used to call them my sisters, like, all the time. If I used to talk to anyone about these girls, like, they were my sisters. That's what I saw. I didn't see them as my cousins, saw them as my sisters, like. And if we were speaking to whoever and they were introducing me, for example, I was always a cousin. I was always their cousin, and I just didn't see the flags, you know, there with certain things that they used to do. I remember when I used to go to college, I remember this one specific time, one of my cousins, she called me and she was like, it's an emergency, I need you to come, and bearing in mind I was an hour away from my college, from my house, and then from my house to her house about 10 minutes, not that long, but about an hour away from my house, from my college. And I literally left my college. I'm thinking, like, what's the emergency, what's going on, what's happened? I left college, went all the way to her house. She's trying to tell me that she only wanted me to come shopping with her. And, like, literally, I left college, I left my studying to come all that way just because she wanted someone to come shopping with her, because her sister, there was like 3 of us, we were quite close. They had a younger sister who at the time was a lot younger, so she didn't really chill with us, sort of thing. So I kind of used to chill with them, so it was like us 3 all the time. And the older sister was busy, so she kind of called me and was like, let's, you know, go shopping, blah blah blah. I used to make them CDs. This when CDs was big back in the day, yeah, guys. I used to make them CDs all the time. Like, I always had the exclusive. I used to listen to a lot of reggae and dancehall, but I used to have all the exclusive songs, the remixes, the mixes, you know, everything. Like, I used to have all of it. I used to make them CDs. Like, I must have made hundreds and hundreds of CDs, guys, for them. It was like so much, like, there was never no happiness from them for me. I was always happy for them. Like, I remember one time I passed my driving test, yeah, and we were going upstairs into my cousin's room. This was at their house, and I said to her, I've got something to tell you, I've passed my driving test. And this girl, like, she pushed me and I was about to fall down the stairs. Like, we were on the top of the stairs, she pushed me and I nearly fell down the stairs. And I was kind of like shocked. Like, I don't know, I didn't really know what was going on, and I was kind of like, what's happened, sort of thing. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me you were going for your driving test? And I was like, I just didn't want to jinx it. Like, nobody knew. My mum was the only person that knew when I was going for my driving test. My brother didn't know, my dad didn't know. Like, nobody knew. I was the only person along with my mum that knew. And I was like, I just didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to jinx it. I just wanted to go do my driving test and then, you know, let people know after if I passed or if I failed. I would have still told people. But it was like there was no happiness there, you know. There was no happiness there to accept the fact that, you know what, I passed my driving test, be happy for me, sort of thing. But yeah, it was never like that. There was always competition. They always had to be better than me. And I remember a lot of my friends used to be like, why are you so involved with these girls? Like, they do nothing but negative things for your life. They're quite horrible to you. They're quite negative. They make out like you're below them and, you know, whatever. Like, what is it? And I'm like, they're family. You know, they're family. I can't just cut them out. They're family. And, you know, I've known them all my life and blah, blah, blah. So it's quite hard. And then I remember we went to, well, not them, but I went to India with my mum and their younger sister and their mum, and, you know, whatever. And we went, and basically we were just chilling and in India, and it was my cousin's wedding, and, you know, whatever. And obviously me and the younger one, we didn't get on, or we don't get on at all. And we used to have loads of issues in India and blah, blah, blah. But the agreement basically was, when we come back from both of our parents, that we would not speak to each other. I would have nothing to do with her. She would have nothing to do with me, because we just didn't get on with each other. And that's what it was. And I remember going to my hairdressers, going to get my hair done. And the younger one and one of my other cousins, who's quite close with them, was there. And they were getting their hair done, and obviously I didn't say nothing to them. I'm on the phone to my partner, my now husband, then partner, and I'm busy chatting to him on my phone, and, you know, whatever. And the next thing, I see my cousin, the one that obviously I chill with, the older one, come jumping into this hairdresser's, like, and she's like, oh, what's going on? I didn't realise you were here. And I thought, yeah, of course you didn't, you know. I just saw your younger sister on the phone leave the building, then come back in the building. She obviously phoned you. But whatever, anyway. She come running in. And she was like, oh, why haven't you said hello to my sister? And I'm like, why am I going to say hello? You know, it was one of them ones as well. Like, at the time, it was the youngest would always respect the oldest sort of thing. So I thought, you guys always expect the younger generation to respect you guys, but when it comes to your sister, it's not the same. So I thought, well, why am I saying hello to her first? She should be saying hello to me first. But besides that, we agreed that we would have nothing to do with each other sort of thing. And she made this big thing, this really big thing at the hairdressers, and completely embarrassing me in front of a whole bunch of people. I'm so angry, guys. Like, I'm the sort of person, when I get angry, I get tears in my eyes, and I'm probably one of those people that will cry because I want to do something but I can't do something. Does that make sense? And obviously at that time I'm thinking, that's my cousin, I can't do anything, she's family, she's older than me, out of respect and, you know, whatever. So obviously I'm in tears. The hairdresser I'd known for years, and she was like, just go to the back. So I went to the back, I phoned my mum, and I was like, I can't do this, come and get me, blah blah blah. And my mum come to the hairdressers, and she's trying to console me at the back of the hairdressers, and I'm just so upset. And then my cousin comes to the back, and she didn't realise my mum was there, so obviously mum's there, and she's like saying to my mum, oh, you know, I didn't mean to upset her, and, you know, this, that and the other. And my mum's like, do you know what, just leave it. And I was so angry at that point. I was like, do you know what, we're done. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you and your family. I don't want you to have nothing to do with me. Like, I'm done. And she kind of stood there, and she was like, what do you mean you're done? Like, you can't do that with family. And I was like, no, do you know what, we're done. And she was like, all right, cool, if that's what you want, whatever. And she went. But at that point, I kind of just said to my mum, I was like, I'm done. I'm like, mentally, physically, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, they're so toxic, they're just so horrible to me. I've done everything for these girls, like, and I was so upset. Like, I was so upset. But at the time, obviously, I'd fallen in love with my husband. I was just busy with my husband. Like, I didn't care about nobody else, I didn't care about nothing else. I was busy working, and I found the person that I loved, who was there, who was so supportive, and, you know, whatever. So he kind of took my mind off everything, so I didn't kind of miss, there was no void there of people that I had for so long in my life, because he filled, I think, in a way, a certain love that I always craved or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but he kind of filled that void. But what I'm trying to say is, don't feel scared to cut out family, because regardless of whether they're family or not, it doesn't matter. We're all human, you know. Just because you're like, you have family doesn't mean that they always want the best for you. Like, I've got friends that want better for me than what these cousins of mine wanted for me. Do you get it? But don't be scared. Like, do not be scared to cut out family, because not all family are there for you. Not all family want the best for you. Family are always trying to put you down. Like, you could be, I saw a video today on TikTok of some girl that I'm following, and she was talking about how, you know, family don't always want you to do well, and this, that and the other. And I couldn't agree more with this girl. She was so right. Like, within family, like, as soon as you start doing better, you start doing well, you're progressing, you don't want to be part of certain things anymore, they will put you down. Like, they will go to, the aunties will go to your mum, or aunties will say this, or uncles will say that. You know, it's like, I'm not interested, I don't want to hear it. Like, whether you like me or not doesn't make a difference. I remember when I wanted to get my first tattoo, and I told my mum that I wanted to get my first tattoo, and she was like, oh, what are people going to say, blah blah blah. And I was like, do you know what, I really don't care, got it. And then I wanted to get my lip pierced, and my mum was fine with that. She wasn't happy, she was fine with that. But then I wanted to get my tongue pierced, and my mum was like, no, what are people going to say? And I was like, I don't really care what people are going to say. They're not the ones that have raised me, they're not the ones that have been there for me all my life. These aunties, uncles, cousins, whatever, have not liked me. Why do I care about what they think? I'm not here to impress them. I really don't care. And my mum was kind of just like, do you know what, fine, do whatever you want to do. My mum was very supportive, and she always has been since then, and I absolutely love my mum for that, because my mum really doesn't give a shit what any family member thinks about her daughter, because at the end of the day, I have succeeded better than what most of my flipping cousins have anyway. So there was another, oh god, there was this one time, my cousin, he was in hospital, and we had gone to see him, and there was a whole bunch of us, like his sisters, the girls that I used to chill with, and their mum and my mum, and there was one of my other aunties, and we were all standing out in the hallway waiting to go in to see my cousin. And this auntie of mine, I was stood right next to my mum, and she was like to mum, how's your son? Asking about my brother, and I'm stood right there. Like, she didn't bother saying hello to me. She greeted everyone and what, you know, whatever. And then when we went inside the room, she was kind of like to me, oh, what, so you're not going to say hello to me then? You're not going to acknowledge me right here? I'm like, are you taking the piss? Like, you just spoke to my mum outside asking about my brother. You didn't even acknowledge that I'm standing right there next to my mum. You've, you know, greeted everyone. You've not once said hello to me, and then you want me to say hello to you. Forget it. I was like to my mum, I'm not having, my mum kept telling me, shh, shh, be quiet, be quiet. And I was like, no, do you know what? Like, why am I going to be quiet? Like, it doesn't make sense. Do you get me? Like, you've asked about my brother, you've greeted absolutely everyone else, but you've completely ignored me like I don't exist. Fuck that. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I'm not interested. And like I said, I'd bump into like family and stuff, and I'd want nothing to do with them, because why would I want anything to do with such toxic people? I don't want you in my life, regardless whether you're family or not. And I haven't spoken to family in years. I want to say years and years and years and years and years, guys. I have not spoken to so many of my family members because I don't want nothing to do with them. But yeah, like I said, don't be scared to cut family out, because regardless whether they're family or not, they're not always going to want the best for you. Cutting friends out, another one. Like, just because you've known people for years or even a short amount of time, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you feel like someone is toxic and is not there for you and isn't the right type of friend for you, cut them out. Just cut them out. You don't need them. I've lost so many friends, guys. So many friends that I grew up with. So many friends that I genuinely thought were my friends, and after I got married and had my children, I couldn't go out party no more. I couldn't go pick them up in my car and drive them around anymore. I couldn't, you know, whatever. I lost a lot of friends because they didn't want nothing to do with me, because I couldn't be there for them, because they were still, you know, single or still partying or still doing whatever. And it's like, well, no. I've had friends call me and, you know, be like, hi, how you doing, then go on about their life, but not once ask about my children or actually find out what's going on with me or what's going on with my life. And it's like, you know what, I gave birth to my children. They come out of me. If you're going to ask about me, you need to ask about my children. If you're not going to ask about my children, I'm not interested. I don't want you in my life, because my kids are a part of me. Do you get me? Like, I'm not saying like, I'm expecting, for example, a friend every single time I chat to them, they're like, hush kids, hush kids, hush kids. But you know what? Every so often ask about my children. You know, ask if my kids are okay. Like, my genuine friends will always ask about my kids. Like, always, always, always will ask about my kids. But I've got a few people that are at the moment still in my life who, you know, only message me if they want something, only message me when they want to talk about their own life, will never ask about my kids, basically only want to rant about their own life, which, do you know what, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I have a drama-free life. I don't want your shit in my life. Like, I don't need it. And that's what I mean. You need to recognize toxic people. Get these toxic people out of your life. You don't need it, because these people do not want you to be happy. These people are not there for your happiness. They're just there because you're the person that's there when they've got nobody else to speak to. I don't want to be a part of it. But the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on, guys, is toxic people at work. I think a lot of people, when they go into work and stuff, they think that certain people are nice. They're friends, they're colleagues, they're this. But there's toxic people everywhere. What you have to remember with work people, there's usually always hidden agendas. They don't want you to succeed. They want to be better than you. You get those people that brand knows the manager and, you know, whatever. Like, it's like, come on. There's toxic people everywhere. Like, I can't express this enough. But I just don't need it in my life. You guys don't need it in your life. And at the moment with COVID going on and a lot of people are at home, like I said, people are calling, messaging. Don't be fooled. If you haven't heard from someone in a long time, or you know they're a toxic person, please don't be fooled by it. Don't let these type of people in your life. Life is way too short. Like, you could be here one day and the next day you're gone. And the last thing you need is people trying to bring you down. Just be happy. Live your life. Don't let these toxic people ruin your life. And yeah, just move on. Like, move on. Don't be afraid to cut people out of your life. I've got a few of my friends at the moment that are in situations where they don't want to cut family members out, and what I can say to you is the best thing I ever did was cutting these toxic family members out of my life. So the best advice I can give you is people that are toxic, family members that are toxic in your life, get rid of them, because that is the best decision you'll ever make in your whole life. Whether they're there or whether they're not, it doesn't really matter. Like when I got married, because I cut so much family members out, my husband's got a really big family, like immediate family is very, very big. He's got a lot of brothers, he's got a sister, you know, he's got a big family, and it's just me and my brother. Like my immediate family is just my mum, my dad, me and my brother. But I'd cut everyone out, so I'd only had like certain friends, and my side of the family was really small on my wedding compared to my husband's side. But you know what, I was fine with that. We had an amazing day, I had a beautiful wedding, and I didn't have any toxic people there at my wedding, you know. So for me it was absolutely amazing. I remember the cousin that I'm talking about called my mum and was like, I can't believe Nisha's not invited us to her wedding. And my mum was like, okay. And she was like, but I'm me. And my mum was like, doesn't matter who you are, like, so what? Nisha told you she cut you out. You guys have got nothing to do with each other anymore. But I'd moved on. Do you get it? Like, see, I'd moved on with my life. I wasn't bothered anymore. I didn't care anymore. But they still thought that I wasn't serious. I don't, anyways. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I was gonna do a boohoo haul, but I completely chickened out. But yeah, might do one next week, we'll see. Anyways, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because you know those likes, those comments, those subscriptions really help my YouTube channel to grow. So let's get this channel growing. I've got the sun right in my face. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, guys, what you guys think, and you know, your own experiences with family and certain toxic people in your life, because I'd love to hear about it. And like I said, be strong, cut those toxic people out, enjoy your life is way too short. I will see you in my next video, guys. Take care.